Cancer. This week begins with a feeling you can't quite explain, like your heart already knows something important before your life visibly changes. And honestly, it does. Venus enters your sign this week, softening your emotional world while simultaneously making your feelings impossible to ignore. What you've been pushing aside quietly rises to the surface now. Needs, longing, exhaustion, desire. The emotional truth underneath the role you've been trying to maintain for everyone else. And because Mercury enters Gemini and immediately touches Uranus, something unexpected may trigger that realization very suddenly. A message, a memory, a strange coincidence, a conversation that lingers in your chest long after it ends. This is not a loud week for you externally, but internally, everything shifts. You are beginning to understand that emotional survival and emotional fulfillment are not the same thing. That realization changes the way you look at relationships this week, especially because Venus sextiles Mars as it enters your sign, creating a rare opening for honesty, affection, reconciliation, and emotional courage. Someone may finally meet you halfway emotionally, or you may realize you've been waiting for reassurance from someone emotionally incapable of providing it. That truth hurts at first, but it also frees you. Around the middle of the week, Mercury trines Pluto and sextiles Neptune, and your intuition becomes extremely accurate. Dreams may become vivid. Emotional signals become difficult to ignore. You may sense tension beneath people's words long before they admit what's actually happening. Trust your instincts. But don't punish people for emotions they haven't verbalized yet, because later in the week, Venus squares Neptune, and emotional projection becomes dangerous. You may idealize someone, or fear emotional abandonment where none truly exists. The heart wants certainty this week, but Neptune clouds the edges of reality. Move gently, especially with yourself. There's also a strong theme around rest and emotional boundaries. You have been carrying emotional labor for too long without replenishment, and this week, your body may start revealing what your emotions have been trying to say quietly for months. Slow down, not because you're weak, because healing requires room to breathe. And Cancer, somewhere around the middle of the week, there's a moment where you realize you no longer want relationships built entirely around emotional rescue. You want reciprocity now, presence, stability, emotional adulthood. That is growth. Even if part of you still fears losing people by asking for more, the Sun enters Gemini and conjoins Uranus later in the week, bringing an unexpected realization about your future, friendships, or emotional direction. You may suddenly understand who truly supports your becoming, and who only supported the version of you that never asked for anything. That clarity matters. Do not ignore it simply because it's uncomfortable. By the weekend, your emotional world feels softer, but also wiser, more discerning, less willing to pour endlessly into people who only visit your warmth when they need shelter. And quietly, that changes your entire future. Cancer, your tarot card is the Ace of Wands. Something inside you is waking back up. The Ace of Wands is a spark card. New passion, creative ignition, emotional courage, renewed desire for life itself. After emotional heaviness or exhaustion, this card signals the return of momentum. But the energy here feels deeply personal, not performative. You may suddenly feel inspired to begin something new, a project, a relationship dynamic, a creative direction. Or maybe you simply remember what it feels like to emotionally want something again, instead of merely surviving. That matters, because this week is trying to reconnect you with your own aliveness. There's also strong attraction energy around this card. Someone may notice you differently now, or emotional chemistry may intensify unexpectedly. But the deeper message is not romance alone. It's permission. Permission to stop shrinking your emotional fire to make other people comfortable.
Cancer, you get hexagram 15, Earth over Mountain, Modesty. This is a quiet and beautiful hexagram. Modesty speaks about grounded emotional wisdom, humility, emotional balance, and strength that does not need performance. This week asks you to stop underestimating the power of your gentleness. There is also a message here about emotional equilibrium. You have been carrying emotional intensity for others for so long that your own needs became secondary. But Hexagram 15 restores balance by reminding you that true harmony requires reciprocity. You are not meant to endlessly pour without replenishment. And emotionally, this hexagram says that softness is not weakness. Calmness is not passivity. There is profound power in emotional steadiness right now. The people who truly belong in your future will recognize that immediately.
Cancer, your rune is Berkano. Berkano is the rune of healing, emotional renewal, growth, tenderness, and sacred restoration. This is one of the softest runes in the Elder Futhark. Your spirit is trying to recover from emotional depletion. This week favors gentleness with yourself, emotional nourishment, creativity, comfort, and allowing softer emotions to exist without immediately apologizing for them. There's also strong relationship healing around this rune. A connection may soften, a misunderstanding may ease, or you may simply realize how much emotional care you truly deserve after long periods of overgiving. Berkano also speaks about emotional rebirth. You are becoming emotionally different now, less willing to survive through emotional self-erasure. And honestly, that is healthy growth.
This week was not about perfection. It was about honesty, about recognizing where your spirit has become tired, and allowing yourself to move toward gentleness instead of endless pressure. Some of you are entering a new emotional chapter now, even if the first steps still feel uncertain. If this reading spoke to you, leave a comment telling me what truth became clearer for you this week. Sometimes, naming the shift aloud is what finally makes it real. And don't forget to watch your rising sign as well. Your rising sign often reveals the timing and deeper structure behind what your heart is currently experiencing. Be gentle with yourself this week. Your future is still unfolding beautifully.